Okay, we're back. Does anyone have any questions about the helpers we went over and partials? Although we're going to practice doing a partial right now.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have, say you have like new and edit, and there's the same form, but there's like one or two slight differences, can you do like a condition statement in that partial? Like I saw like a little condition there.
Sure, you could. Yeah.
Uh-oh. 5, 4.
my plug came undone. Okay. Yeah, you can do conditions inside of partials.
Okay.
Okay, so let's practice making a partial. Our get index action so it's not too complicated. We have each loop that puts out each manufacturer that we have on this index page. It shows them all, right? Let's make a partial for it. So we're going to put the entire loop's contents into a partial. So instead of this, we're going to say render manufacturer, right? How would we say that? Oh, why isn't it showing up in the right colors?
Percentage.
Yeah, I forgot this. Am I forgetting anything else? Yep. So if I want it to show up, I need the equal sign there. This won't show up. So render manufacturer, and then do I need to give it any local variables?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Let's see.
What was in there?
What was in there?
You cut it?
What I cut? Let's see.
Did you cut it that?
What I cut was this. Is there anything from here that I would need to give the partial? Let's find out. So where would I make this partial? In the same directory, right? And what would I call it?
Underscore manufacturer.
Underscore manufacturer. And I would just paste what I deleted in there. So let's see if it still works. Uh-oh. Undefined local variable or method manufacturer for some crazy thing. Did you mean manufacturers? I don't think so. I don't think that's what I meant. So in manufacturer's index, in this partial, it's here. It doesn't know what this is.
Disconnected.
So, oops, that's not index. So here, we rendered manufacturer, and it renders kind of with an error because we need to pass it some variable. Look at our form.
Can we just put manufacturers each into that partial? Maybe that is all.
Well, we could put the each into the partial, but it still wouldn't know what manufacturer is. So in this edit, in this new, what do you notice here that we don't have?
Local variable.
Yeah, local variable. So you do have to do this, unfortunately. It doesn't know what manufacturer is like here unless you tell it. So you have to kind of pass it in, kind of like you did with Sinatra in the controller. You have to tell it what manufacturer is. You know, this it might be confusing at first to look at, but That's the least confusing naming we can do, right? We could call it something else, but it would be more confusing. So at this point, our partial should know, oops, that's the wrong partial. Our partial now should know what manufacturer is. So there are partial work, and that's great. So we went over the form, we didn't go over it, I just showed it to you, the form 4 helper. So this is a great Rails helper. You'll notice the syntax is a little confusing at first because you have do f here, right? What does that mean? Yeah. So you form field do f. You have these divs here for label name. This is the way you're used to typing it, right? There's another way of typing it when you have a form 4 helper. This block is the same as this block. Instead of interpolating with raw HTML, we can just we still have the div, but we say label name, and that's the same as this line. And text field, this is another form helper. So you can look up form helpers whenever you need something in your form. And required is required. So this is the same thing. And if we look at our website, it's the same thing, it's still there. It's less typing. It's nice. So can we do the same thing for this one? Let's do it. What will we type?
Table, symbol, description.
And then a little colon sign, make it pretty. And then F the text field.
Yep. Yep. Required.
Nice. And we don't need this thing.
You said you have a love-hate relationship. What don't you like about this? Because this looks pretty good.
This looks very nice, right? What I don't like is for those edge cases when you want to do something special or different. I don't know. Sometimes they don't have a helper, and then
when it's not convention and you
Yeah.
need some configuration.
yeah, you can't escape configuration completely.
Okay.
So does it still work? The description? Yep. Okay. So we have to notice that in the controller, it's a little different from how we've been writing things. So, oh, well, because the params are different. So when you have your params here, in your view, here we had to say manufacturer name. And that would be equal to when you have your params saying params name, right? Like, something like that. But because in your forms, you might have something other than a manufacturer, you might have a product, and it also has a name. You don't necessarily want to just have name in the params. So with this kind of form helper, we're going to want to refer to it in a way. I'm typing controller stuff in here, which is weird, but it'll be more like this. It'll be like a nested hash. So there will be a manufacturer field, and then inside it, it'll have a name key. So that way we can make a form that can manipulate multiple objects that have similar fields, like name. Everything has a name, right? Okay, so we went over the 4 actions already. So today we're going to try and make a nested resource. So let's say we want to make products. Manufacturers have many products, right? If we wanted to make the route for that, and we have the manufacturers, and before we had something that looks like this, right? Kind of. So we had no, this isn't before. This is something like what we want. So manufacturers, manufacturer ID, but now we want like an index of products under each manufacturer. We also want not only that, but we want to be able to go to the ID of the product and show the individual product under the manufacturer. There's a handy way to do that with your routes. And you say resources manufacturers do, and you ignore this silly autocomplete.
Sources again?
Resources is a way of saying I want full CRUD capability. I want to be able to create, read, update, and destroy, and have all the paths for this thing. And we remember what our routes looked like before, right? So if we say this, all of a sudden we have a nested resource. And we look at our routes. This is what it looked like before. And what it looks like now is way different from those few lines. Let me make it pretty. Let's see. So we have a lot more routes now. Imagine if you had to type all this out, what that would feel like for your fingers. We have manufacturers, and this is what we had before. But because of the nested resource, we also have this set here. So you can see that aside from being inside of a manufacturer ID, these products are all the same as the manufacturers here. But it gives you the ability to update and destroy, CRUD capability for a nested resource.
So does that mean you have a product model?
Yes.
It
a product model.
It already made a model for
I'm
us.
not sure if it made, I think it did. I don't remember having to, let's see, models. Yes. So our migration has been set up. That's a different lesson. We already have done that though. So you can do that, right? You can make the migration in the model. And this is how we made the routes. So
can we see your schema?
My schema. Ah, that's a good thing to see.
products table, and there's a users one too.
There is a user one, huh? So we have a table of products. This is what our manufacturers look like. Name, description, that's about it. And then this has a manufacturer ID because it belongs to a manufacturer.
And this schema was created because you did the resources command?
This schema was not created. It was given to us when we cloned the repo.
Oh,
it was already there.
All right. So like we're still gonna have to come up with a schema and everything. Like we don't just resources and then it.
The resources give you the routes.
Okay, and then you make your own schema and like figure out your own active record.
Yep.
Okay.
So the schema generates when you create the migration, right, or is it the other way around?
The schema generates when you run a migration.
The manufacturers and products are linked in the data or through the foreign key in the database, and then they're linked through the routes because it's nested within manufacturers, and then you're gonna have to link them in the controllers now.
You kind of link them in the controllers. Let's see. So
What?
Let's kick his ass.
So okay. Let's get into tests and do some test-driven development to create our product controller. So if we want to make a spec for our product controller, oh, look at this. There's already a spec for manufacturer's controller.
Yeah, that you created.
Did you create it or resources did it?
No, the writer of this curriculum created this.
Oh.
And I would totally not, copy and paste these tests and for my own controller to help. Let's see. What do these tests look like? Are they passing?
Oh, no.
Wow, 25 examples, 0 failures. They're all passing. Great. So we're on green. Let's say we've already refactored and we want to go red. Do I type, I'm not testing manufacturer's controller though. So yeah, I'm gonna need to make a products controller spec. I can't type. Okay. And then inside it, we're going to make some pending tests. I'm just gonna paste it in here. This is all in your curriculum, so you can look at this lesson, but I'm gonna also post the repo up like you guys asked. Let's see. So this exit thing, what does it do?
It puts that condition on hold.
Yeah, so you've seen it already, huh?
Yep.
So it shows up, bundler. Uninitialized constant products controller. Okay, so that's something we can fix, right? So how do we fix uninitialized constant products controller?
Create a products controller.
Yes. Products controller RB. And it's gonna look something like this.
Oh, it is capital, right? Products would
be
capital.
Products would be capital here in this class. But in the name of the file, I almost typed a capital. That would have been wrong.
Okay.
So you kind of have to look around you, look at other examples. It'll make sense in the end, but at first you really have to be careful. You don't miss the capitalization, and
it'll mess everything.
Yes, because it's against the convention. Okay, so I have now. It shouldn't be on the same error. Okay, so this is what our exit tests give us, a nice yellow. So let's implement one of these tests. We're going to do the 404. Renders a 404 for a non-existent manufacturer. So here, we have this test. I don't like this indentation. Not indentation, but yeah, okay. So it renders a 404. Do this, and you see we need something like this at the top of our describe block because of Rails. It's a little different than Sinatra, but this is how you write a Rails test for a controller. So you get the index, you give it the params hash, but you gave it an ID of -1. There is no ID of -1. So you want the response code to equal 404, and you want the response body to match not found. Okay. Let's run the test. It should be red. So failed. What's the error?
No route.
No route. No route matches action index, controller products, manufacturer ID is -1. So this is a little cryptic, but I think in the very beginning we see what's wrong, right? So it's trying.
In routes, we need a method.
In routes? Oh, you can't see it? Oh, it has to be bigger. Okay. So no route matches this. URL generation error. Okay. So let's look at our routes. Action index controller products. This is why it was small. Okay. So products, product index. So we do have a controller action product index in our routes, right?
What about controller and views?
Controller and views. So here's our products controller. It has nothing in it. So maybe this would help. Uh-oh, it's the same error. Failure error. Get index. Rams. Oh, not that. This. URL generation error. No route matches. I'm actually confused. Let's see. No route matches. But I have routes here. What is it looking for? Action index, controller products. Manufacturer ID is -1.
Test your server, see if it works.
I test my server.
Or I mean your browser. Test in your browser, see if you have a.
Well, I mean, I have only index, but let's see. So manufacturers
Flash products in it.
like this.
Is it with the 4 or without ID or?
Oh, it would be under each manufacturer. So under a specific manufacturer, you have an index of products. And it says no route matches. Let's see why. Oh, wait. Something's wrong with my routes. Let's look at our routes.rb. Oh, I see what's wrong. Do you? I didn't copy and paste. I was just typing, so I made this typo. Yeah.
Oh, products.
Some of those capitalization and plural mistakes will get you. But I mean, at least the error took us to the right. It told us the routes was wrong, right? And I trusted myself so much that I thought the routes were right. But no, it told me the routes were wrong, and they were wrong. Okay. This is a different error. It must be the similar error that this is showing us. So it's, did you catch what that was?
Needs a view.
Yeah, it needs a view. So let's make a view. Same thing, template. Oops, wrong place. So views, what do we need?
Product view. Folder.
A new folder called products. And inside it, what do I need? Okay. And let's see if our test pass. Uh-oh. It expected 404, but it got 200. So
We gotta give it if logic saying, like, what index did it take us to? It just took us to a different one. It should have taken us to -1, but it took us to something else.
what did it take us to?
So it takes us there no matter what.
It takes us here.
What did you put -1?
Oh,
is it at
-1.
4? Why is it at 4?
So
there anyway.
it takes us to IDs that don't exist.
So we need
we
if
don't like.
logic. So that'll go in the controller.
Controller, yeah. Oops. So we go to the controller and this is what.
I'm sorry. Can't you use like active record validation? Like you can't put a negative number in?
Huh. Well, that would really help to have. Yes, you might want to make an active record validation in your model, but the ID isn't something that the users enter anyway. Usually, they'll enter the name and description and things like that. And this is a problem with our controller. We want it to redirect you to a 404 when you have a non-existent manufacturer. And
But the manufacturer, yeah.
Your validation would keep a negative ID from getting into the database, which is great. But with the route, right now, we're still showing this, whether there's something in the database or not. It'll just show this.
So you can still type it and get that instead of 4.
Yeah. Oops. So here we have the same definix we had before, but we have a before action, find manufacturer before the index, right? We have this find manufacturer, which we've seen before, but also we have this stuff. So if active record has this error, record not found, then it'll render this error is not found. So
Copy paste that. And just change it a little bit.
yeah, so We might have to change it a little bit, but let's see. So what is this?
Missing template.
Missing template, missing this template.
Errors not found. I thought those came stock in the public file.
Do they?
Yeah, for the
I'm sorry.
server error files, they should come stock in like the public.
It's saying the public 404.
Yeah, in like 422.
Whoa, okay. Well, we can copy this, and then where do we need to put it?
In the products view.
Products view? What did the error say? That missing template errors / not found. And why does it say that?
We don't have a not found page. Or we have a not found page, but we just never told it when to go to it. We would need to specifically tell it.
This is why it says it couldn't find it.
Is this saying you need a errors folder in your views folder? Not found yet?
Yes, it's saying that I need an errors folder and a not found ERB. What if we wanted to render the public one? We could give it a path to the public folder. But that way you don't have to make this, but let's just make it. New folder called errors. And inside it, I'll have a not found. Oh gosh. And I will, let's just say error not found right now. So now what's our test say? No, it passed. So I guess that was enough. It was looking for some kind of error message.
It was looking for
404. Expected the response code to equal 404. And something in the body needed to match not found.
And what's the I?
So
what happens if you I think that's a regex or something. Yeah, that's a regex.
So what if you put in there 404 like 1, 2?
Okay, 40412. So we'll go back to views, errors. And instead of not found, you say like if it's something else, right?
No.
Hmm?
Put the 1, 2 after 404.
Oh, you're saying like it's not 404.
No. Put 404 in there, but just put like maybe 1, 4, 4, 1.
Like that? Okay. What do you think will happen? Fail, why? So expect response body to match this regex. So diff. This is what's missing, and this is what we got. So we need to find somewhere in this body. And when you say body, this is what comes out, response.body. And we look, and it didn't say it anywhere. This is what we have in there, but it wanted a not found somewhere.
Brown face. I'm like, what is he doing?
So the 404, we didn't actually have to type it, even though it might be friendly to type it, because that's the response that came back. So the response code was 404. and it wanted some text in there saying not found. So the other two tests. See. So it shows all your products, and it doesn't show other manufacturers' products. So I also need some let statements. Do you remember in our spec, we want to declare kind of variables we can reuse up here? So I'm saying let manufacturer. So when I call manufacturer, like here, let it equal a new manufacturer, manufacturer.create. Name is Nike. Description, just do it. And then let other, so that's an other manufacturer, right? Is another manufacturer, but this is Reebok. Description, I am what I am. This is not Dr. Seuss, this is Reebok's slogan. So
can
have.
You reuse other and create more, or can?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you can reuse other, just because we call it.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah, we could say this whole block right here, but it would be really messy looking, right? Like that's the same thing as saying this. So if we run our tests, and this repo really has like a wealth of tests that you can look at and write your own tests based on. So one of them already passed. Which one was that? The second one? Only one failed. It shows all your products. So it expected this Air Jordan thing, but instead it got, this is the products index. So how will we fix this? We wanted to say Air Jordan and include the products that we gave to this manufacturer. This here. So we made a product. We said product equals product create. And you said we gave it the manufacturer. It has a manufacturer ID, right? And we told it that the manufacturer that owns it is this one here, Nike. However, when we got the index and we gave it the params of manufacturer ID is manufacturer ID, we got the index of product controller here because this is product controller spec, right? We got the index and we gave it the right manufacturer and we expected the index to have the name on the index page. So where is the first place we go? The controller or the views or the database? The view.
You said you expected it to have something on the page?
Well, yes.
So then it's on HTML.
So I expected it to have something on the page. And the page is products index, right? So I could, yeah, you're right. I could say this and make it pass, right?
But no, I mean, I'm not understanding what it is. What's the error? What's the problem?
What's the problem? So we want our index page not to look like this, but to look more like this.
You want it to have like a list of items and everything.
We want it to have like all the products under this manufacturer. So this manufacturer of orange.
So you can do the move thing with the H.
It's gonna have
Ruby
products.
interpolation. So, so you wanted to have all of the products listed for like.
Yes.
So then you would have to actually, you would have to do either a partial, or you have to do some sort of interpolation to list all of them.
But what are we interpolating? Where is it getting the information from in this view?
It should be getting it from the database.
Straight from the database?
Manufacturer.
It gets it through
the controller.
The controller.
Through the controller. So okay, so you're still gonna have to list it on the page.
Yes, but when we're typing in this view, because there's literally nothing inside the controller action, this is where we are. And I can type whatever I want in the view, but it doesn't have any variables.
But it's MVC. MVC.
MVC. Model View Controller. I don't know that the order really matters. They all kind of talk to each other. Well, the controller is the brain. It talks to the model and it talks to the view. The view and the model don't talk to each other.
So then,
manufacturer. So we have manufacturer. So dot name equals
Nike.
Huh.
What are you talking about? You're trying to get, dot fine. You do dot fine.
Okay, so remember what I was talking about when you're typing stuff in the controller? Where do you go to experiment? Yes. So
manufacturer.
So let's say we already found the manufacturer, right? So it's the first one. Okay. So now what?
All right. First dot what is it? Params or find?
Find. Well, we already found it. It's, right? We got the first one. We found it.
Okay, so then what is it?
Products?
Products, right?
Huh. It looks empty.
You gotta do a description.
We didn't make anything yet, even though our test kind of simulates making something, right?
You can do description.
So I'm just gonna spoil it and here we have a products, and we got it by saying manufacturer.products, right? Even though it's empty right now. And we say render index. So we go to index and we give it these locals. Manufacturer is the manufacturer that we found in this before action. And products is this products that we declared inside of the action here.
So then now we have to actually, if it's looking for Nike to have Jordans, right? So we have to hard code.
Hard code?
But it has to,
I'm sorry.
You're looking for testing. It wants Nike Air Jordan.
So views, products index. Yeah, so it wants something like that, but it's getting this, right? So this is where I'm gonna leave off, and then you guys can figure out how to get that test to pass. So here, we wanted it to include Air Jordan, and instead of typing Air Jordan in the view, let's see if we can get the view set up so that it actually displays a list of all the products belonging to the manufacturer. Okay, so I'm gonna push it up, and you guys can start from here, okay? Okay. Does anyone have any questions?
So in your routes,
Mm-hmm.
your routes, and even in your association with manufacturer dot products, they both have products nested inside manufacturer.
Mm-hmm.
But in your hash,
In my hash,
in the
the
spec
parameter.
file, your manufacturer is nested in your product. It's flip flop.
In my hash in the spec file?
Yeah.
Let me see.
That's what's confusing to me.
I mean, it sounds confusing to me too. Let's see, here, or which spec?
You see where it says product equals product.create, any one of those. And then there's manufacturer hash nested inside product.
Yeah.
But then in your routes.
Oh, okay. So this is this isn't a params hash. This is a instance of product. And when I say this is kind of like I'm in my console, right? So if I copy this to my console, well, it doesn't know what manufacturer is, but so when I say a product, right? P equals product.new. Oops, it's a class. So it's a product, right? It's not saved in the database or anything, but it's a model of the product. And the manufacturer ID is nil, right? Now, if I say M is the first manufacturer, well, let's say the last. So now M is this manufacturer that we drew from the database and we created an instance of, right?
Yeah.
Now let's say I want this product to belong to this manufacturer.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, okay, well, this product's manufacturer, p.manufacturer, and it's going to be singular because it only has one, is nil. But if we say p.manufacturer equals M, then all of a sudden we have p.manufacturer saved. So we can access the manufacturer through the product.
Okay. So the same way you do manufacturer.products,
Manufacturer.
Okay.
Yeah. It won't have an S because it only has one.
Okay. So you can't reverse plural because then it doesn't.
You can reverse plural
if it belongs the other way.
If it's many to many. Yeah.
What?
So this is a one belongs to. I'm sorry, many belongs to one, right? Has many and belongs to. This is just a product and. Mm-hmm. Yes, so if it was a many to many, we would say, you know, it would be dot manufacturers and dot products. But since it's just many to one, oh, because I just typed in gibberish when I created it on the browser. Okay. Any questions from remote? All right. I'll push it up and you guys can get started.
Big Mike. Big Mike. Big Mike.